Hey there, it's Modern Retro Tech, and today I will try to do something new. I'm very fascinated about Rust ecosystem, and one thing that I wanted to do for some time now is to showcase some of the good applications, libraries, and tools that are made in Rust. So today we will look at Zola, which is a static site generator written in Rust. I will try to migrate my blog from Jekyll to it. And time permitting, we will also look inside it and try to figure out how it works and do a bit of a little code review with that. So let's start. Here you can see Zola itself. It has this nice website called Get Zola. In essence, you have a bunch of things here. So you have a bit of typical landing page, no dependencies, blazing fast, scalable, easy to use, flexible, augmented markdown, blah, blah, blah. And I guess we can jump right in and try to install it. Well, I already installed it via first binary thing because I wanted to see what experience is like. But if we run it, I guess we are using Homebrew because I'm on macOS, so nothing super fancy there. Now, I have a blog which is locate.net, and here you can see we have a couple of posts. So essentially, I migrated my Medium blog here after Medium started to become more and more weird and added more and more restrictions. So stopped being a content distribution platform and became more of pay us to read some article platform. So yeah, I migrated my stuff here on my own website, and I have essentially 2 articles there that I will try to migrate. Now, in terms of requirements, we need to be able to use Markdown. So those articles are Markdown, and we also need to be able to highlight code because, well, I'm writing technical blogs, so we need code highlighting. We need to be able to host images because sometimes I add diagrams and sometimes I add just random stuff like embeds as well. And that's pretty much it. I think we don't need comments. We don't need any like super complex functionality. I try to not track anybody. So I hope that we don't need to add any kind of Google Analytics or anything like that. Now I host it on GitHub, so I use GitHub Pages for that. We have this repository names that are typical when you want to host something on GitHub, and I'm currently using Jekyll. Jekyll sucks in many ways. One thing why I also started looking for a new static site generator is this amazing thing. So we have like security vulnerabilities. I guess I can update them, but I really don't want to, mostly because it was very unpleasant experience setting this up. And I want to try this Rust solution called Zola. Hopefully it will simplify things for me, and it should be sufficiently simple to set up, judging by some posts other people wrote about trying to use it. So we can see that Zola has already been installed, so I guess we can jump into docs. I haven't read them properly yet, so I just looked at they seem to have all the features that I want to do, so that is good. I guess we can use the existing repo, right? So I will just create a new branch. And here, then what do I do with all this stuff? I guess I can just, I have config YAML. So there is this stuff. I have this gem file because Jekyll is running on Ruby. So those things, they will all go out, I think. This is some Jekyll thing. This is also, okay, this is just like about page. And otherwise, I only have like posts that are just normal markdown documents. So nothing super fascinating there. And of course, I need to have a space for storing my theme. Well, I used Minima. I will probably do some CSS on my own. Includes, I think, yeah, well, that's just header, footer, blah, blah, blah. And I have assets where for each blog post, I just put like some images here. So I think that will be one. I'm just trying to look out what I currently have, so I know how to migrate it and what to do about it. Now, what do we do with Zola? We start with command line usage, I guess. So we can init my site. Let's move stuff to another folder, I guess. So I will just create legacy, and then I can, I don't know, all this stuff there. Yep. Then I can move assets to legacy. Yep. And then I can move markdown files. I can move empty files. And finally, so like stuff like CNAME I will still need, because this is what allows my Lacred GitHub IO thing to point to a correct folder, sorry, to use the correct hostname, lacred.net. So that stuff I will still need, but for now, just to see what we get, I also moved it inside this legacy folder, license as well. And finally, let's move gem file as well. Okay. So now we have only this in, and now we can try Zola init. Okay, any choices? Well, please answer a few questions to get started quickly. What is your URL of your website? Well, do you want to enable SAS compilation? Yes. Syntax highlighting? Yes. Yes. Zola serve. Okay. So let's see what it created. Let's open it in code. Maybe I can do it like that. So we have, okay, nothing is here. It's completely empty. We just have this config thing. Zola serve is the way to serve it. Done in 29 milliseconds. That looks good. And it auto reloads as well. This is really nice. We'll install a theme. So what kind of themes do they have? You can find a list of themes here. After dark. Even ergo feather. I wonder if they have anything close to minima or not. But Slim, Henry, Pickles, Zulma. I'm not sure if I want to use a theme, to be honest. Looks not really nice. Let's just look at a couple of those and see if there is something good here. Simple dev block. Pretty much what I want to do. No, I don't want this. I want to just see, yes, to see that. But I guess because That looks better. Out of the content folder and then to enable an example content index reference guide. Oh, they even support Cortex, which is like for showing mathematical formulas, which is pretty nice. Used instant page. Okay, we can see what they have there. So index page, anchor links. Okay, this is just markdown. Okay, perfect. I guess we can try this theme then to simplify it and also see. We can always then, of course, change it however we want because it seems that it just installs a bunch of templates here. So that's nice. Themes directory, okay. We can actually switch now to proper editor, right? I'll also make it a bit larger so that you can see what I'm doing a bit better. So if we go and yeah, let's then disable this stuff. Do it here. Now we can go to themes and we can then git clone blah blah blah. Oh, sure. Git clone this thing. We got a bunch of things. Now I don't want it to be a Git repo because it may be problematic. So for us, so I would just do this. Now let's remove Apache thing. Okay. And that's pretty much that. Now that's what we need to add here. Okay. Ooh. This is interesting. So should I just restart this thing? Section pick lambda content index field variable paginator pages and found in contact were entering index HTML. So theme has broken our website. That is funny. Let's see if we can fix it. So maybe I'm doing something wrong. Is to set the theme variables. The theme thing has to be the name of the directory you clone the theme in. For example, clone theme simple customizing the theme in the configuration. Because I may have screwed up configuration. No, I didn't. I think. Zola pickles. Yeah, Zola pickles. Okay. Generated fit taxonomies. I feel that via paginator pages. Okay, let's do quick search for that thing, and hopefully maybe it's mentioned in issues. So there are 3 closed issues. Okay. Interesting. It seems that we don't have much things here that point us to how to use it. Let's try Zola report itself. Now just search for that. Okay, it looks to me like this is some kind of error in the theme. For now, I don't even care about pagination, right? I can just, in essence, I can just put stuff on one page for now. I won't be producing more than like 20 blog posts for, I think, a year or so. So this problem is not really relevant to me. Okay, let's not spend too much time on trying this theme. It didn't work. I guess I'll just drop it and let's try to do it ourselves and see if it works. So, no, okay, we're skipping themes now. This is all fascinating, but let's try to see if our website now will work. If I do, oh yeah, I need to remove this thing, of course. And then I can do Zola serve. And this should now work. Okay, we are back to working state. I guess let's close this stuff and see. So only hidden files. Those will try to populate. So you need force, blah blah blah. Then we build. Then we serve that we already did. Then we can start looking at sections and something else. So directory structure is useful. Configuration, overview, section, pages. Okay. Contains all your markup content. So I guess we can start by trying to put some stuff in the content directory. And then if it works, we will know. So I will just take I will open my legacy folder here. And then I can go to posts. I can select this stuff and I can move it. So one directory up, one directory up. Then we have big lambda and then we have content. And those are here now. Well, they should be a bit broken. Something broke again. So, okay. Couldn't find front matter in, did you forget to add source none? That didn't like something. Those are like normal markdown files. I think I didn't think that I had something. Well, we have this like site URL stuff here. For the test of it, let's try to rename it and call it like. So now I think. Don't show again. I'll just rename those files and I will see if that helps us. So if I do Zola serve, let's just put some really dumb thing here. Let's just do test. Okay, there. So this, oh, so when you update, what? Oopsie. Did you forget to add? Okay, I guess we need to read some docs here. Contains pages. So content, blog, and landing. Oh. Okay, so you don't have a simple thing where you put markdown pages. You have more complex structure. Okay. Okay, I must admit this documentation makes me a bit confused. I wonder if I'm missing. So this is like beginning of our doc. So what? So this is like overview. Starts with, we have two overviews. Okay. Content contains all your markup content, mostly markdown files. Each child directory of the content directory presents a section that contains pages. To learn more, each child directory is a section that contains pages. What? Okay. Then we have static, any kind of files, contains source files, templates that will be used, themes. Okay. We're not using themes. We don't care about static. We don't care about templates. We don't care about source. For now, we only care about content. Content. Zola uses a directory structure to determine the site structure. Each child directory in the content directory represents a section that contains pages. Each page path, the path after base URL, for example, can be customized by changing the path or Slack attribute to the page front matter. I don't understand the sentence at all. So like front matter, what is page front matter? Why do I care about URLs at this point? File of the file description. Also none of the, okay. You might have noticed a file named in the example above. This file is used to store both the metadata and content of the section itself and is not considered a page. And content. To ensure that the terminology used in the rest of the documentation is in case has three sections: content, block, and landing. Okay. The content section has only one page, something markdown. The landing section has no pages. And the block section has 4 pages. Directory structure, configuration, clear usage. By the way, this is an example of bad UX when you put like those completely arbitrary things like block, clear usage. It doesn't make any sense, right? Block thing will be like this date and it will be like name of the post or something like that. That doesn't look like that. So that example doesn't make sense itself, and that makes it more confusing than it should be. But okay, sections can be nested indefinitely. Fine. How to put a markdown page out? Tell me, documentation. Asset collocation. The content directory is not limited to markup files. Sure. It's natural to want to collocate a page and some related assets such as images, blah, blah, blah. Yes, how to show a fucking page. Pages with collocated assets should not be placed directly in the section directory. Yeah. Is dedicated, excluding files, static assets. What? Am I reading documentation? Like, does it make, okay, static assets. Okay, we don't need to read this stuff. A section is created whenever a directory is in the content section contains an index.md file. No section will be created. This directory will still create pages, known as orphan pages. This is more terminology right now than I would need to create a website on my own, to be honest. So, okay. The index page is a section. Show me an example. If you do not create an index.md file in your content directory, the main content section will not have any content metadata. Yay. Nobody, literally nobody who wants to put a static website cares about this kind of stuff. It's like, this is details for specific use cases maybe or something like that, but not for your main documentation. Any non-markdown file, drafting, front meta. Do they have like any example at all? Initiate a site. Oh gosh, they have a walkthrough here, an overview instead of, so you have installation page that shows you how to install stuff, and then you have CLI usage, and then you have directory and configuration, but actual tutorial is here. Okay, we found it. Oh my god, I start to get bad feeling about this. No assumptions regarding your site. Okay, I guess that's why all this stuff with 15 different levels of nesting is needed. Like a simple block site. Okay. So here, let's make a homepage. Base HTML file inside the templates directory. Okay. Oh yeah, we need to remove our markdown thing, I guess. Let's also rename it because we probably will need to try to then enable it. Backup. No, we won't be using Bulma for sure. Sorry, but no, that we don't need. I used to like Bulma a lot until I just decided that I will rather write my stuff in BEM myself. And then my life became simpler. So this stuff will become a comment. We have already a name for our blog. So yeah, I didn't figure out how to do all this direct to HTTPS, but. And then we have section, container, content, and blog. Okay. Index. Now let's create index HTML file inside the templates directory. Okay. Blog content. Okay. So now if I try to serve it, will I get some result? I can just, I guess, update this thing. Okay, we got some content working. This is fascinating. Splendid, good, amazing. Now, let's try to insert content index.md file inside it. Okay. Let's create a blog subdirectory. Can index.md file inside it. Okay. The file. Okay, something happens. Content is categorized and so on. Okay. In the index.md file, we'll set the following variables in tonal format. So that's the things that it wanted. This is what they called front matter, I guess. Our failed to render section block index. Note that also no variables mandatory opening and closing are required. List of blog posts, sort by date, block HTML, block page. Okay, I guess those failed to render section block. Okay, I guess because there is no block HTML stuff, I would imagine. Template as a template, blog page in the template as a template for individual markdown files. Okay. in a template. So now we create like a template for our blog. Okay. Extends. Page title. Okay. Want to list blog post. The title of the set is the index HTML. File is above the use. Something happened. Can I like go here? Okay, no, not yet. Okay. Patience. Block for page and section pages. So we don't have any pages yet, so this thing will be empty, I guess. But this thing also is not shown. Can I like try to show something here? Because I really wonder if it will already. No, nothing appears yet. Okay, patience. As done by, but this time we want to list the blog post. The title we set as index file above is available to us in the list below. The title will scroll the pages and output the page title and URL using page title and page permalink save respectively. You save blah blah blah. If you go to blog, you will see the section page for blog. The list is empty because we don't have any blog posts. Let's fix it now. But I wonder. Oh my god, is it the same? I guess it requires. It just says for not found. I'm not sure if I'm doing something correctly. So create a blog HTML. Extends base HTML. It should already show, but okay, let's try to add something more. Create a file called firstmd with the following content. Okay, splendid. Okay. So page title. Blog page HTML template. So far I'm doing something. It doesn't error out anymore as it did before, but it doesn't show anything either. So it just shows no found so far with different levels of okay, blog, no, first, no. Okay, maybe something appeared here. Okay, this is the only thing we managed to show so far. Create this with the content. But we don't get anything here. Maybe I should just like restart it. Or maybe I confuse it. Maybe I confuse it with my other files here. So others. If I just move the thing here, let's move it there. Let's try to start again and see. Oh, okay, so it was really confused because of my pages in the directory. Okay, that was my fault. Now, my first post, this is my first blog post. Okay, we managed to show something. Yay, that goes well. Now, this should start, if you now go back to your page, you should see your lonely post. Okay. And here I don't see anything. Let's add another. Should be. Okay, so let's try to move then one of our things here. So let's move this one because it's smaller. We will need, I guess, to add this stuff here. So date. How it is called on my actual website. So this is the name. Now here, why doesn't it appear? Did I do something wrong? Does it not like numbers? Okay, I don't get it. Why? Okay, let's see again. Do I need to change something else? Let's create second MD. Okay. Shows up on top. So it should already show up. Index HTML. Yeah, let's. I wonder. So this stuff we can definitely remove. This stuff. I wonder if I just do that temporarily. It doesn't help. So it doesn't show stuff actually. And what is more confusing is that I don't even get why. So there's like nothing super awkward here. Okay, let's move this stuff maybe out. I'll try to restart it because... And then nothing happens really. It's just like normal markdown file. So this just says blog page. This is just like title date, and this also has title and date. Maybe title is too long. I'm just like grasping at straws right now. This is supposed to be a highlight of a good library because I read and thought, okay, it should work really well. It seems to be well liked, so we should not experience much trouble. So far, trouble is what we are experiencing. And of course, part of that is my stupidity for sure. I miss that they have tutorial, but now it's like stuff should appear, it doesn't appear. Stuff should show us a list before we put stuff in, but it doesn't. So oh my god, this is my stupidity because I still have the backup thing. Gosh. Yes. So okay. Now it should recognize it, please. Yes. Okay. Saved. Okay, we have been able to render something. It doesn't look good yet, but this is all right. That we can fix. We at least did something that looks proper. So now this first post I can drop, I think. And I can take my other thing here. So thankfully dates are written in the name of this thing, so it should be that. Then Elixir modularity toolbox. Did I call it like that? Yes, that's how I called it. So now we should see this thing. Yeah, we should remove the backup thing. Okay. And I should be able to remove that. Those URLs are very long. I wonder if I can make it a bit nicer. So if I just say this, what will happen? Okay, so Slack I can control, which is nice. Now, of course, I don't want to actually have like a separate page for this stuff because I just want to render it here. So I want to have this list rendered here. And I'm thinking, so the use Terra, I wonder if I can just include stuff. So that's it, Terra. Okay, auto escaping. So there's like a bunch of control structures. What I'm thinking about is just trying to include one page inside another. So base template, child template, nested blocks, extends, block and block, built-ins. Okay, so we have including here. Okay, splendid. So this is our page. Instead of doing this, click here. I will just try to include block HTML. Something broke. Standard base HTML. Oh yeah, because inheritance in included templates. So this thing then, well, it doesn't need to extend this. So that is not a big problem for us. We can just do it like that. Now it should, in principle, work. And it doesn't. I guess. I guess it's really not. Do I even, like, does it do anything? Like, let's just check it. Hey there. It should, okay, so it does include it. Okay, that we know. Now, of course, the problem is that in section pages, it doesn't find anything. Can I somehow section title? I guess we will need to just search for that. So including stuff doesn't really help the matter much because it doesn't have access to this section stuff. I wonder if we will find anything. Here. So that we don't care about. This we already read. So section is created when a directory section contains an index. Directory does not contain, no section will be created. Orphan pages. No user browsers to your base URL. Is a section. Oh, if you would like to add content, you could add index in the root of the content and edit it just you would edit any other. Okay, so we don't need to do the whole block thing. We can just, in principle, be able to move it here. And that should... Okay, something broke. Yeah, okay, problem solved. We now can, we just don't create the block thing as they suggest. We now have thing that we can use. So instead of list of block thing, I want to say it doesn't show, by the way, it doesn't show this so like I guess I can just move it here. Okay, it's still happy. Blog page. How does it find this blog page stuff? So this is our index now. We have the title. The section title is this list of blog pages, blog posts. Instead, let's call it big lambda as we wanted to. So for lambda, I will do a very quick thing for typing this symbol. Is Julia is amazing. So that should rename this thing. I broke something, I guess. Come on. Is a directory. But you just work with that. Why? Because template doesn't exist anymore. Page template. Do you like it? Okay. So that's how we refer to this, right? Big lambda. We then have page template. I wonder if I write something here, will I see it? No, I won't. Okay. This formatter is driving me a bit insane. But okay. Yeah, I don't need so much space here. So let's put it here. And do we want to add something after the thing? So we have like link for about page. I will skip it for now. Let's add this. We can do it like that. Actually, we don't need even to do it because it doesn't add any value for us. Do we see... We don't see dates. Can we make it show dates? So like showing dates is good. I also definitely don't want to have the whole list thing. I will just do this, I think. dump. Of course, I want to do it like that. So that will be our h3. And now I need to somehow, what are the things we have in the page? So how do we call this date thing? Page date, maybe? I guess maybe something like that will work. Page date. Yeah, it does. So now I will just put it like that. Don't care about style much. The main thing we can show content. And we can actually already see that we have, like, this is code. We can see that it works. Now we can look at this thing. It also works. It looks very ugly right now. I guess we can change the syntax highlighting template. Syntax highlighter in general. Public something inside. Actually, yeah, we can also create already a style. I don't know. Let's say let's also go and do some Google font thing. So we need fonts. I want Fira Sans. Splendid. So I know I want regular and I want, oops. And I want extra light. I guess I want light, and I guess I want semi-bold. Those are styles, and I think I wonder if it changed anything for us. Doesn't seem so. We will of course need font size. Let's say. So now we will need to add a link to our actual style sheet here. So instead of Bulma, we will say, where does it put stuff? I saw somewhere. It will be hard link them. No. Static sections and pages that we don't care about. Static table of contents, deep linking, syntax. Oh, syntax highlights and found. I guess that will be one thing for us. Sus. Public style CSS. Okay. Of course, another thing, if it even finds it. Let's check it out. Mhm. Oh, okay. Well, then we just don't need public thing, right? We can just do style CSS. And then I am not sure, did it use it? So we don't get it actually. I wonder, style shit, style CSS. I think I need to check one thing. So I think I need to do something to make it also work from base URL. Actually, I think maybe I'm missing one thing here. Yeah. Okay. So we forgot one symbol. that should. Now you see we got a bit better font. We can now look at the syntax highlights stuff. So yeah, it recognizes languages. I wonder if I can change syntax highlighting theme zone. It doesn't say anything about it on the docs, which is a bit weird. Okay. So here we actually will need to look inside the sources, I feel, because I think documentation just doesn't list what they use. Let's see. So they use hyper in Tokyo. Notify. Interesting. So they have a workspace and then they have like a bunch of components here. I wonder if they do anything. So config image pros library, maybe in rendering. Syntact sound like something connected to. Yeah, we found the library for syntax highlights, and so. Okay. I wonder how to change the theme. So. Sync don't have highlights in 4. Oh, that I guess is the default theme they're using. Can I find where? Configuration. So, so that's where we can change the theme. Okay. This is in Markdown section, by the way. So we will need to go here. Oh, customized. Yeah. Okay. I'm done. The themes supported by Zola. Which themes are supported by Zola? I guess themes supported by that library, right? See below. Currently, okay. So here are supported themes. Which one do we want? I generally prefer light themes, as you may have noticed. So I think Solarized Light, not Visual Studio Darks they have. But they don't have... so we need to actually add it to Zola wrapper. Interesting. Well... Material light, yellow white, Grovebox light, cheerfully. Okay, so let's see if any of them look decent. Okay. Nope. 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 This is, this is idler. This is Python default interpreter theme, which is actually fine. So we can use that for now because I probably will fork it and just add a theme I like. Blue 16. Base 16. Ocean light. I guess it doesn't seem to work. Okay, this is theme without any highlights in. Oh. I guess we can just try those things and see. Idle and this IU light. Yikes. Yikes. Did you find it? Thread panicked. No entry found for key. Solarized light. Okay, we forgot the dash. Okay. Well, it still looks very ugly compared to my default. How I actually... I don't remember which kind of theme I'm using here, but it looks way better. Like Visual Studio Code Lite would also work. Maybe they just forgot to list it. I want to check it out. So Visual Studio Code Dark. Sure, Visual Studio Dark. Let's see that. Maybe it actually will also look okay. Nah, they have dark but not light. Interesting. Fine, let's keep it for now because it is at least not super ugly. One thing that I'm not sure about is, do they have any other settings for this scene? So Vivo in configuration. So otherwise we cannot really configure it. And by default, of course, this looks very ugly, especially with dark theme because it doesn't have any padding whatsoever. I wonder if I can fix it via... Ah, okay. So it uses a spread thing and code thing. So I can do then... I guess I can try to fix it on this level, doing code padding and just doing like 1 rem of padding everywhere. Whoopsie. Or maybe... Okay, that looks way better. Then, of course, I also want to make sure that I probably want to make a bit of border radius here, right? So, okay, I can actually close this stuff and make a bit more space. So adding a bit of border radius, so I don't know. Let's say 20 pixels. So, okay, that looks nicer. Now, do we want to check any other major features here? So I'm pretty sure, okay, we can add about page. We can probably add some basic styling for this blog page quickly. By the way, what is this? Oh, they also have search. Okay, that's different. Oh yeah, I guess we lost images on our other blog post. So yep, we lost images here. I wonder if I can just try to put it here. Uh, served. I'm trying to find how they work with assets, but that is not that easy. Maybe it's in page somewhere or in section. Was it here? Section, drafts in. Sorting, blah, blah, blah. Page, pass from front matter. Ah, okay, so they have like different configurations available for them. Using shortcodes, overview. Oh, assets collocation. So like assets are in overview. Fine. Okay. So we can collocate them with those things. Okay. Configuration. Actually, can I create like a directory for one thing? So if I say oh, so I'm thinking if I just create a subdirectory here. Move it here. Rename it to index. Will it still work? Okay. Well, it does. Splendid. Just for fun, let's check it. Okay. We are live. That thing. Because then I can put images here. So then I can create Elixir modularity toolbox MD. Oh, gosh. Move it here. I can call it index. And then when I look at this thing, so we can now move stuff around. We can look at the drafts. Includes layouts. Assets, yes. So for modularity, okay, that's actually better. That's way better because then I can really collocate them and then I will have way less trouble. I can put it here and I can put it there. So this is my modularity thing. Sure. Splendid. So now I should be able to simplify my path a bit. Yay, we have images. This is nice. Let's create a subdirectory here. Sure. Because then I think we can just do stuff like that. We have images here. So this thing, so that doesn't show, okay. But this does. I guess it just ignores the folder path, which is interesting. Okay, now when I change it, that should be shown here. Okay. Okay, I guess. You can then just put them in subdirectories without specifying them. Interesting. But okay. And link is still, okay, link works perfectly. Images have been restored. Embed is shown. Of course, right now the markup itself is very ugly. We probably want to at least restrict the... I wonder actually if I can set stuff here, like, for example, in my blog page, what do I want? I want to say I have content, splendid, then I have like subtitle with date, splendid, and then I have page content. So here I will just create a div and I will give it a class saying that this is, actually is there, maybe there is already some kind of class here. Class container for the whole thing. And here it's just like, okay, it's not contained anything yet. So we can say, I don't know. Oh, let's call it article. So we will have class article. And let's just set width to be, I don't know. Hi, just noticed the comment, sorry. How are you doing today? So width, let's set it to like 90. No, this is text. For text, it doesn't make sense to just make it wider and wider, right? We probably should set it to something sensible. So like, I don't know. That will probably be a little bit too small. Yes, it is. Let's set it to like, okay, this is too much. No, actually, let's make it a bit smaller. So that already looks good. Well, better. I guess. We probably also want to put it in the middle of the page, right? You probably want to put the whole thing in the middle of the page, actually. So how do we call that? Let's call it wrapper. Because we already have container from Zola itself, so we need to be a bit careful with naming here. So then, this wrapper thing, we display it as flags. Flags direction column. Splendid. And then we can make it so that it's also flags. Gosh, I haven't coded for web for so long now. I forgot how to make it centered. Gosh. Oh, that happens. I think, thankfully for Flexbox, there is a very good guide. Let me find it quickly. Found it. So yeah, this is complete guide to Flexbox. And order, flex wrap, justify content. Yes, justify a line. Gosh, okay. So justify content, we are going column. We need to justify on a secondary axis. So that will be align items, I think. Let's try it. Okay, that looks a bit better. Our images are still insane. But this, of course, this is also a bit insane. Let's move. So we have page title and page subtitle, right? They're like different things. So let's put them in one div so that we don't get the huge space between them. That's stuff you don't need. That looks a bit weird. I think we probably should just drop this stuff that we have here. Well, okay. For now I will keep it, don't want to spend too much time on that, because as long as our main layout makes sense, it's all right. Now the main thing for us is to make images fit. So what is happening with that? So it's inside a P, inside an article. So paragraph image. It doesn't have any width or height set. So maybe if I just try to give all images some kind of yikes. No, it just shows with native widths. If I just say okay, go. No, nothing happens. This is a bit weird. Let me try to. Okay, that works. Oh my god, not image, img, of course. Let's extract a variable for our article widths, right? So will be 60 RAM, because then we can use it for images and for article itself. So that, by the way, the main reason why we are using SAS is to set those variables. Okay, this looks better. Well, slightly better. This still looks ugly. I probably need to make it a proper syntax highlighted thing. It's not nearly important. Okay, I still need to like make this big. I still need to improve my text style. I probably can actually do one thing. Actually, yeah, that probably will be a bit nicer. Okay. Then, of course, I can also make like H1. I can actually, okay, that I can set really for body. But this, for H1, I will say, I don't know, something like that. For H2, I don't know, 18. Has it been applied? Okay, good. Actually, I can maybe even what kind of heading is that? This is also H2. Okay. It looks a bit more sane, but still quite ugly. I need to, I think, improve. Let's do line height 1.5 RAM. Oh, it's not in RAM, I think. It's just in numbers, right? Yeah, it's just numbers. So 1.5, I think. Okay, that looks way better. So now it is already kind of readable. We still have a bit ugly borders here. We don't have all the necessary features I have, but that's something that we can add with more CSS, so I won't spend more time on that. I think this article looks finish. Let's quickly look at the another article. So we lost all the pictures, so we need to quickly also refactor the picture thing. Let's also move them to images directory so that we have a bit clearer structure here. So everybody's there now. Now, so in essence, we will need to so how many of those we have? We have multiple of those, and we can just replace them all with nothing really. That should fix our page. So, yep, we've got images here as well. I will need to proofread it, of course, to make sure that everything else is here. But now, look, it starts to look fine. We are, how long have I been working on that? We are like 1 hour, 31 minutes in. So that is pretty nice. So like 1.5 hours, we got something that is That looks okay-ish. Now, one thing that, yeah, we have this page. We will also need to add more styles. I will need to figure out how to make it work with the, so it has integration with GitHub pages. So that's nice. It has integration with GitHub Action. I think CName thing should start working with me just putting it there, hopefully. So that kind of should serve the serving part. The syntax highlighting, though, we will need to add our own theme eventually, but that's not high priority. Otherwise, I think like from basic functionality perspective, it works. It was comparatively. I will quickly commit the state, and then we will do a quick rundown through the code of Zola itself to see how it works. So I think everything here, yes. So let's check out Zola itself now. I guess we can just go to GitHub and clone it. Actually, probably I want to fork it because eventually I want to submit a pull request adding the themes that I want, Visual Studio Code Lite, I guess. And that means that it should be, like, I guess it's better to just fork the thing. So let's fork. So here we go. I guess we can now clone it. Wow, it's quite a bit of stuff in this repo. I wonder what it is. So, and we can start looking at the code. For some modules which won't be opened automatically. Oh, interesting. There is like a bunch of things. Okay, this is for GitHub. This is, I guess, some completions for Bash. Pretty cool stuff. I have no clue how it works. We care about mostly Rust code though, right? I think one thing we can try to run is clock to see what is happening here. So, yeah, by the way, I think clock itself is also written in Rust. I don't remember. But here you can see we have a lot of markdown. I think it's also documentation. Then we have only 73 Rust files. So like the whole size of it is only 14K, which is pretty nice. I think for the complete service static site generator, this is pretty small size, and it includes all the features we need. It can serve the files, it can do like indexes, it has templating, stuff like that. Of course, a lot of that is also the templating engine it uses, so it's called Terra, and I think a lot of that is also testament to how powerful that thing is, I would imagine. But otherwise, looks nice. I guess those fish things is for like some specific shell. I haven't used it. CSS. Okay. Oh, and it has a Docker file. I guess this is just for, do they have like some docs, Zola version? I don't think, git modules, docker ignore, editor config. use small heuristics max. Yeah, good idea. Typically helps with making code a bit more readable. Let's look at those files now. So cargo terminal shows us what kind of stuff they have. Build RS shows us what kind of custom build steps they do. Include clear RS. So this is like building Cleave using clap. Clap is a library that allows Rust to essentially allows you to parse command line arguments in Rust. I also like it. It's very cool. You can set like stuff about the app name. You can set all the settings that you want, provide documentation. So pretty nice stuff. That's how they generate a command line thingy. So that in Docker, they only install a bunch of stuff, then they do target, and then they do deploy. I guess this is really just like build a thing for checking if it builds. I wonder if we can run it. And I wonder how many dependencies we will have, because if we look now at cargo terminal, we will see that we have a bunch of workspace members. So like we have high level dependencies here for this main SRT thing, which is just like running the whole thing. And then we have a bunch of components, and each of those components is also a Rust project. So total number of dependencies may be quite high. Judging by how my computer is heating up continuously and spinning fans, I think there is quite a bit of stuff happening there. But let's go and explore it a bit. So with main, build CLI, get matches. Depending on subcommand, we create a new process. Then command build. So this stuff is all in some, create new project, is in CMD. CMD is the module with all commands that command line thing allows you to use. It includes a bunch of things. So build, check, init, serve. So main commands make sense. Energy exports from those things, I guess those are functions. Let's look at build. Yeah, it's a function. So those function now, instead of seeing module build, you see a function build that you can use in main. So for example, when somebody executes main, it ends up here. They say build inside, they find the output there, and then they call cmd build, which is a function. They pass a bunch of things there. Now, if you look at it, it accepts references to path, to root dir, to config file, base URL, which is optional, output dir, which is optional, and include drafts, which is a boolean. Then it creates a new site, and site load and site build. Site is a component, so we are now in this project. And here we can see that they depend on Terra. So that's the templating engine they are using. Volkdir, Ion, Serda, Glob, SAS, Lazy Static. So nothing super surprising here. And here we can see that site, and so they're building it as structure. So that's how the whole website is represented. It has some base path, it has config, it has instance of Terra, it have an arc of mutex of image proc processor, whatever it is. I guess this is like some custom, oh yeah, this is also a custom image processor that they've built. That looks pretty cool. It allows you to resize stuff. Wow, interesting. Yes, they use some library called image. I guess library for processing images. Not very interesting for us, however. Live reload. Static path taxonomies. library permalinks. And here you can see how they create a new thing. So they just initialize the structure. So library contains all pages and sections of the site. Let's check out how they build it. So they just call compile SAS, build search index, render alias, render sections. So they take this library, they read it, wrap section. Okay, so I guess you can start to see why we had so many. Like one thing, okay, the app is cool, it's lightweight, it works fast, but we had a number of instances where stuff was just like failing and breaking, and then we needed to restart. And now we can see why. So apparently they unwrap quite a bit, actually. Okay, 30 uses of unwrap. So all this stuff can fail. And in some cases, yeah, in some cases, maybe, you know, sometimes you unwrap because you know that it cannot fail, but in some cases here, I'm sure it just unwrap because it was harder to process all possible exceptions. And that stuff is not so good. I wonder how many times I unwrap in the whole search base, in the whole code base. So let's look through components first. So 763 results in 38 files. So that explains a lot. And if we 800, so we have like 800 places that can potentially fail, and we have experienced quite a few of those when we just added files where it didn't expect us and it just failed with some random error, or like you forget to add some specific thing to the description it expects and it also fails. So that is the reason for that, obviously. Otherwise, looking at the code, it looks nice. It's quite easy to follow so far. Let's look at how it builds the, so we go in build, and now we want to see, by the way, is it, oh, we have built it in the meantime. Nice. So it took 4 minutes on my agent machine, which is not so long. I guess we can run the clean. You can see that now it runs very quickly. I wonder if they have any tests. I have a clue, but let's try to run it. Oh, there are some tests. Okay, so that's good. There are 10 tests, but fine. So there is test site. I wonder where tests are even located. They're all contained in moderate things. So is it like a bunch of things here, right? This is for serving things. Okay. And this is for commands. So that's what we saw. Because I guess then we have 297 tests in the whole code base, but I only executed once because I guess I executed them from the root directory. If I go inside components and say in library, and if I try to run cargo test, While it does that, let's continue looking at our build thing. So yeah, we got site build. We do compile and SAS. It's not very interesting. Then we can render sections. So here we go to self library, we read section values into parallel iterator. So it builds them in parallel. We map and then self render section. So render section, it does some kind of side effect because it returns result of unit. It writes files in paths, I guess. So components is a vector of references to strings. Okay, file components. Then we go through pages, we do parallel iteration through them, and then we do render page. We get page by key, which returns reference to page. Another thing for us to check out. So this is like a representation of one page that we have. Where is it located? It's located also in library. So library is like the whole site is like meta thing, I guess, for compiling and like building things. And library is actual content there. And in library we have also Rayon, we have Terra, we have Serda. Oh yeah. Yeah, so we got like a bunch of tests running now in components. Okay, so we have quite a bit of tests actually. They're just in separate workspaces, which is fine. In the library itself, what is library? Like vec but for hash set. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a bit of a helper macro for creating sets more easily. We have a dense slot map. What the hell is that? I never heard about this thing. It's from dense RS, so it's some kind of library. Let me quickly find it and we can see what it does. Oh, gosh. I guess we can just go to crates.io and then we can so an encoded decoded tool from dense files. Is it this thing really? Or is I wonder, because maybe I'm mixing something up. No, it's slot map is the name of the crate, not dense. Okay. Rust library provides three containers with persistent unique keys to access stored values: slot map, hop slot map, and dense slot map. Upon insertion, keys returns that can be used to later access to remove the values. Insertion, deletion, and access will take big O of 1 time with low overhead. Great for storing collections of objects that need stable, safe references but have no clear ownership otherwise, such as game entities or graph nodes. Two secondary maps are also provided to allow you to map further objects to the keys created by one of the slot maps. So, but what's the difference with the map? Okay, you can index by them, which is nice, I guess. for secondary maps. Okay, so you can like I guess you can insert without. Okay, I see now. So instead of managing the keys in values as you typically do with hash map, you can just insert stuff and it will auto-generate a key for you that you can use. And then it also have secondary maps provided allow you to map further object to the keys created by one of the slot maps. Okay, this is interesting thing. Haven't seen it before. Pretty nice. So they use that to store pages. Page and section are just structs, so nothing fancy here. Section also, yeah. So this is like row content, is the content of the page. Okay, no surprises. We have hash maps for path to pages and path to sections. We initialize stuff and we create new library. So that's how we got like this, but sorting based on dates. When we looked at the list of articles we had in our blog, search section pages, and here you can see those options. So we choose sort by date, and that is essentially the code that does it. Neat. And then we have tests. Okay, so far the code base looks pretty nice. Do we want to get too deep into content? So here it's actually rendering stuff, but I think we can also find how it renders stuff comparatively easy because it uses, so let's skip side. I want to look at how it serves things, and I want to look how it does syntax highlighting because it's the things that we want to change, right? Eventually. I'm not sure I will actually try to do it today, but I just want to see how it's done and how complex it will be to add a new theme for that thing. So let's look at serving thing then. I will just close. Which project doesn't have utils folder? I actually not sure. Does it serve it from this thing, from side? Like the tail thing for, yeah, here we can look at how, okay, how long it is, 700 lines. So here we got into async stuff. Those look like handlers. Those I would imagine HTTP. Not found. Let's look at our main thing. What gets executed when we ask it to serve things. This. So it creates a new site. It binds a new address. Oh, wow. So it looks like it doesn't actually use any web framework. It just does it itself. Creates a voucher. So it uses Tokyo directly for that, apparently. New enable build expect, block 1, make service function. And this is, it uses hyper then. Okay. So it uses hyper directly to create a server. And it manages connections also by itself. Okay. Now, syntax highlighting was another thing, right? Let's just quickly check how do we find it? How was the attributes that we used is called? So highlight theme, right? It should be mentioned in the code that actually cares about that. So that's how we will find it. Yeah, we found something called highlighting. RS in components config. Highlight lines. So this is from syntax, from this library. Simple way to get directly from line of text to color tokens. Okay. So our team, so okay. So that happens in Markdown, in markup. Let's see where it's up. So it's in config still. So rendering uses syntax. I would imagine in Markdown it should also have it. Yes, so it has highlighter. And then it uses highlight. What is code block? It's go to code block. Code block is something that they also created themselves. Yes, it's in Markdown. And here list of ranges, the number of lines, background, extra, syntax set, highlighter. So here we got this syntax thing. And here we get the method where it highlights code. So this is in rendering SRC Markdown code blocks. Now, for me, it looks like, if you look again at our search, so here, theme is set and theme that is from binary include bytes, all theme dump. Oh, so it just inlines it in highlighter S. So that's how it works. And that maybe also explains why we got the big binary size of the whole repo, because it inlines those themes inside some binary file, and then it inlines it inside the Zola thing itself, I guess. And that allows, of course, it to switch dynamically between different highlights and themes, right? Adding a syntax. In Sublime Themes directory. So Sublime Themes directory is here. Ooh. So I guess we can just add this in. Shall we just do it then? I guess. Let's create a pull request for it. So, is it actually VS Code theme? So where does it say those themes are? CM editor. So let's see. It's not a visual. Okay. It's like legacy Visual Studio, right? It's not the current Visual Studio, I think. Syntax file. Let's check out the library itself. And also VS Code Lite theme. Because I think they also should be published somewhere, right? So I wonder if store them there or if they use some other thing. Theme service. Wow, that can take some time. I wonder if I can somehow see stuff. So okay, we got something. Is that but that I think is not what this scene expects, right? So this is like TM theme editor. I wonder where it stores those themes. Let's go to Amber. Because I want to see if it uses the same format. actually. Visual Studio Lite. Okay, that looks slightly different. So I guess maybe somebody's already converted it. So okay, those are like additional themes, I guess, not themes we are looking for. This syntax library had some pointers. Sublime text syntax definitions. So this is like YAML file, okay. I think I noticed something before, how to generate it. Performance, it's fast, blah, blah, blah. But then okay, I guess we learned that this won't be an easy thing. We need to have those. So like adding the theme to the repo itself is simple. Getting the theme that Visual Studio Code uses by default in this format is harder. I guess we will just need to find a theme that is looking kind of similar and pleasant to me and just use it. Hey, Anan, nice to see you. So I guess what we learned today. So Zola turned out to be pretty cool. I was able to migrate the website that I have, the blogs that I have to it quite quickly. It still requires a bunch of CSS beautification. I need to find a better syntax highlighting theme, but I think it's all right. And of course, I still need to publish it after I finish making it more beautiful. But what we learned today is that the theme works. It sometimes fails. Documentation needs some additional work, but this all will eventually be solved. I'm pretty sure I will try to contribute where I see a possibility for that too. And of course, it's very impressive how fast it works, how easy it was to install. And the code quality in the repository was also nice. We did a little bit of review, just looking how it does a bunch of things. So far, it looked quite reasonable to me. It looked quite minimal. Design was quite clear and easy to follow. So I'm very excited about having such projects done in Rust. I think it's a sign of community really growing and ecosystem really evolving. And yeah, I'm looking forward to using it instead of Jekyll. Thank you for watching. I will see you soon. Soon we will start a new series about doing graphs with Rust, showing up some really cool applications of them and trying to show people that graphs are not as scary as most computer science textbooks will tell you. So that will probably start next week. And